And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. I gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight the best.
Floyd Mayweather has issued a warning to Terence Crawford amid the heated debate over who would win between them. Mayweather cautioned that Crawford may be chasing something unattainable, reminding him that the version of money who dominated boxing retired on his own terms. He made it clear that his legacy is already written, and no one will be allowed to rewrite that story.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd told Smith that boxing isn't simply about who looks stronger right now, but about who commanded the stage when it truly mattered. In his view, Crawford reaching his mid-30s makes it too late to call for a fight that should have happened years ago, when it would have delivered the biggest spectacle in numbers.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd? No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
The exchange unfolded during a fiery debate on Stephen A. Smith's platform, where Mayweather and Crawford engaged in a rare face-to-face. Mayweather remained composed, but his words carried undeniable weight. He told Crawford, in essence, "Win as much as you like. Defeat the fighters I never faced. But my history remains untouchable." With that, Floyd not only reinforced the spotlight on his own era but also jabbed at Crawford for showing up too late to share the ring with him.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter loses, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum, I knew he was overrated, or y'all hyped him up, and now they gotta hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
This debate isn't just about two fighters trading words, it's about the ripple effect across fans, analysts, and even active fighters. Ryan Garcia has thrown himself into the discussion, delivering sharp criticism of Mayweather during a recent Ring magazine, Inside the Ring segment. When former NFL star LaShawn McCoy claimed that no one had changed boxing like Floyd, Garcia immediately cut in a bad way. He argued that Mayweather didn't just master the sport in the ring, but mastered the business of timing, choosing opponents when it suited him most. Garcia claimed Floyd waited until names like Pacquiao or Cotto were past their peaks and avoided fighters truly in their prime after the junior lightweight division. In his view, Mayweather's flawless record was built more on perfect matchmaking than perfect fighting. And that, Garcia insists, is where boxing went off course, because after Floyd, protecting the zero became more important than chasing the toughest challenges.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites. Bud getting hit by non-elites. And somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
That's where Max Kellerman entered the conversation with his own perspective. Known as one of boxing's sharpest analysts, Kellerman argued that Crawford could actually have a stronger legacy claim than Mayweather, depending on how you frame it. He pointed out that once Floyd moved past lightweight, he carefully picked his spots, which left fans remembering the fights he didn't take as much as the ones he did. Crawford, by contrast, has consistently shown a willingness to face anyone, even if his resume isn't as stacked with big names. And to Kellerman, that kind of intent resonates. It matters to fans when a fighter never shies away from the challenge.
Floyd versus Triple G.
Listen, man.
Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing.
And that's the heart of the debate, resume versus intent. Mayweather's record is loaded with marquee names: De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Cotto, Hatton, Marquez, Mosley, Gatti, Corrales, and more. Yet critics like Garcia and Kellerman argue that timing takes some of the shine off those wins. Pacquiao, they point out, was older and slowed by 2015. Mosley was 38 and coming off a long layoff. Cotto had already absorbed years of punishment. And Canelo, just 23, was drained by a catchweight clause. Floyd won them all, but for his detractors, the asterisk never quite fades.
Looking back at, like, Floyd's career, like, him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
Crawford's resume may not be as stacked, but the intent behind it tells a different story. He never cared about timing. He fought Sean Porter when Porter was still a dangerous challenge. At 35, he dismantled Errol Spence, and he stunned the boxing world by taking down Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. Crawford's issue wasn't avoiding big fights, it was being avoided. As a high-risk, low-reward fighter under top rank, he spent years chasing marquee matchups that never came together. By the time he finally broke through against Spence, he was already deep into his 30s.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or speed or?
Now at 38, Crawford stands undefeated at 42-0, with undisputed titles in 3 weight divisions and a resume that includes Gamboa, Postal, Jeff Horn, Porter, Spence, and Alvarez. Still, when stacked against Mayweather's 50-0, the numbers tilt toward Floyd. 8 fewer wins may not sound like much, but in the legacy game, every digit matters. Yet Crawford holds a card Floyd never played, pushing into a 6th weight class. If he drops to middleweight and claims a title, he'll achieve something Mayweather never even attempted. Floyd stopped at 154, making history there, but never chasing 6 divisions. Crawford's relentless ambition to keep testing himself could be the very thing that shifts the legacy conversation in his favor.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming, and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
The timing of their eras adds another layer to the debate. Crawford captured his first world title in 2014, just a year before Mayweather defeated Pacquiao and then Andre Berto to close his career. The overlap was brief, but it existed enough to make a showdown possible had Floyd Instead, by then Mayweather was already protecting his legacy, not chasing new risks. And that was his message on Stephen A. Smith's show. Don't ask if it was ever going to happen. It would have been when the money was biggest and the demand was at its peak. That moment is gone, along with the what if. Crawford's victories today can't pull Floyd back into the ring.
Funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
That's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
There's an OG somewhere.
Pioneer, right? There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
That hasn't stopped fans from imagining a head-to-head clash. 147, Mayweather was a defensive master, nearly untouchable, dismantling opponents round by round. From age 28 to 38, he went 12-0 at welterweight, holding the division in his grip for a decade. Crawford's run at the same weight looked very different, explosive, ruthless, and versatile. A switch hitter with real finishing power and a mean streak, he went 8-0 in just 5 years, most wins coming by brutal stop. Taller, longer, and able to shift styles seamlessly, Crawford brought a different kind of danger to the division.
But were you surprised that, Crawford wasn't running from him? He was very confident that he could stand there and trade, a lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. He did what he wanted to do.